Vayehi bin Saharad Vayomer Moshe Kuma Adonai Ve'afutzu oivecha Ve'anusu misanecha Mipanecha Ki mitzion tetzei Torah Ki mitzion tetzei Torah Udevar Adonai mi'Yerushalayim. Torah, 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 Tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 Tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 Tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 Tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 Tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, Torah, Torah. That's what we're going to see. Excellent. You may be seated if you'd like. Friends, good morning. Welcome, Mazal Tov. This is a special morning in the life of our congregation. And everything that we do in Judaism is about the old and the new. So as we start, we recognize that this is a place with history. That when our synagogue was being built over 30 years ago, the Nahai family, in particular Ruhala Nahai and his sons, dedicated a chapel in memory of wife and mother Marcel, and we back then said that we wanted to preserve that memory, and even now that memory remains in this space, in this place. And at the same time, the life of the congregation has gone on and grown and been renewed. And so we celebrate today as we move to the next phase, the next stage in the spiritual and educational growth of our congregation. And so we recognize all of those who have helped make this project possible. But in particular, we want to single out today Lee and Arlene Katz and their extended family, Lee's sons Randall and Sam, Erica and Jennifer, and all of the grandchildren, and also Jay as well, who is here, and his wife. And they have sponsored the creation of this space as a Beit Midrash, a place for study and prayer, and have done so in honor of Annette and Israel Katz, and today is in fact Israel's yahrzeit, so it is very appropriate that we observe this today, and also in memory of Tilly and Ernest Lefkowitz and Burton C. Newman. Also appropriate to recognize Gary and Sam Alexander, who helped make this beautiful ark possible, honoring Mildred and Eugene Powell, and Frank Alexander and Evelyn, may she be granted long and healthy life. Also important to mention today, the very special contribution of the Sun and Shine family, who, if you look behind you, there are beautiful stained glass windows. We have never had stained glass windows in the synagogue, and Kenny and the extended Sun and Shine family always said that they wanted to do something connected to education. And stained glass was actually the earliest educational tool. If you look in the cathedrals of Europe, They have stained glass not just because it looks pretty, but because when people couldn't read, that's how you could tell people the stories of the Bible. And so in fact, even now, even though we can all read this, at least in the English, it's not the same as seeing it. So I want to offer, if you will, just a few words of dedication in this space, recognizing the beauty of the ark, recognizing the beauty of this space that is used for prayer and study, but also pointing to those beautiful windows. And also want to mention the leadership of our past president, Brian Mann, who is here, who helped make all of this possible through his leadership last year. Alyssa Fladell, who's helped carry it through to completion, still has a lot of hard work left to do. And Mike Exelbert, who in addition to sponsoring the fine beverages we enjoyed this morning, and if not, there's still more to enjoy, deserves every bit of it for all the work that he has done behind the scenes to help lead the project on a day-to-day basis, going back and forth with artists and artisan and craftsmen, and we appreciate his work. I want to turn your attention, though, to the windows for a moment. We had a decision that we needed to make when those windows were commissioned. Would they celebrate the 12 tribes of Israel, or would they celebrate the 12 brothers, the sons of Jacob? And we made a conscious decision to celebrate the brothers, not the tribes, because we as a synagogue are a family. We are brothers and sisters, not separate tribes. And so those pictures reflect that. Each tribe, we actually read in the Torah yesterday, has its own symbol, and even the youngest among us can appreciate that each has its own symbol, each has its own meaning, its own present, past, and future, and the symbols of those tribes are important lessons for us. You have in the upper left-hand corner Judah, symbolized by the lion, symbolizing strength and leadership. You have Levi, who is the next one over, the second from the left, with the shofar, with the Urim and Tumim, the symbols of spirituality and seeking God. You have the third panel over is the city of Shechem that Simon captured, symbolizing our connection to the land of Israel. If you look on the bottom row, you have next to each other, you have Zebulun is symbolized by a boat, symbolizing financial responsibilities. Zebulun was the brother who paid the bills, so to speak. And next to it was Yisachar, who was the one who did the study. And then also we have above it on the middle row all the way to the right, Dan, who symbolized justice. So we think about all the different elements, all the different themes in our community, in our family, and they are reflected artistically in this space. And this is a space that is going to be used for so many things. Going to be used every day for prayer, going to be used every day for study, for classes and activities. Arlene has volunteered to help guide us as our librarian as we continue to fill out the space with books. Or now she has, anyway. She is pleased to hear that she has. So let's rise to say the Shehecheyanu together. And following putting up the mezuzot, we will break in the Beit Midrash. We'll have a chance to have our first class in the Beit Midrash. So those who are able to stay for about 20 minutes will have a chance to wrestle with an interesting theological question. And then the mitzvah festival is going on all around us. You can enjoy children, adults, all ages, doing about 25 of the 613 here today. So we'll say the blessing together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehecheyanu v'kiyamanu v'yimanu l'zman ha'aseh. Amen. All right, and we are going to end. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu mitzvotav v'tzivanu likboa mezuzah. All right. And it's up.
It's up. Good job, guys.
Thank you, Rabbi.